So, in saying this, have there been times, whether it's at work, at raves, on the street, that you've actually felt unsafe when it comes to men?
Yes.
All the
And
time.
in those instances, like, what did you do? Like, how did you respond to
All the time.
situation?
All the time.
I had to go to HR.
Really?
It was at an old job. So I had a guy and he kept like calling me on my work phone. He was at work and I said like, I'm in a relationship, do not call me please. Didn't take no for an answer, kept emailing me. And then he would email me really weird things and it made me so uncomfortable. And like I'd be in the kitchen and he'd follow me to the work kitchen and like trap me and try and like discuss things with me. And then I told him no, he said, I don't care that you have a man, kept bothering me. I had to go to my manager and say like, this person is really pestering me, they're harassing me. Like, could you please talk to them? Manager talked to him, still did it. And then when he still did it, I got scared because I would be one of the last people to leave the office because I'd go in late and I'd leave late. And I got really worried because he would also leave late and I didn't want us to be the only people in the office because I didn't know what he was going to do. To the point that when I went back to my manager to say he hasn't left me alone, my manager was like, okay, I'm going to go to like HR properly to discipline him, but in the meantime, leave early. Because she was even worried. She didn't know what was going to happen. And then the senior director said, when you get in your car, make sure you check it. Make sure when you get
white?
No. Make sure when you get off the train that you
What's
look.
that got to do with it?
That's true. What's that to do with it? Anyway,
that's us.
yeah. So I was put in a position where someone at work was bothering me, would not take no for an answer, and I was scared because I went to HR and I thought, damn, I've gone to HR. They're going to speak to him. He's going to know that I took it another level. What if he does something to me because he's angry because I went and reported him and they're disciplining him? I was so scared. And because of that anxiety, that was part of the reason why I left the job.
Wow.
Because it was like, I love my job. At the same time, I felt like I needed to do something new. And then when that happened, around the same time, my boyfriend was getting really weird messages on Snapchat. A guy was holding a hot dog, doing sex noises and saying, oh, I've been having sex with your girlfriend. And so I remember traveling with my partner at the time, and then he got a Snapchat and he'd already said that the guy had, the guy said, oh, I'm gonna stab you. He didn't take it seriously because he was like, this person's not gonna do anything to me. But I was scared.
And this is reality.
And I went to my boss and said, look, I know it's him. And my boss was like, we can't do anything because you can't prove it. Because I contacted Snapchat. I said, can we get... Snapchat said no,
I don't use
because
Snapchat,
legally they're not allowed on social media to share information out about like people's profiles. So I couldn't validate that it was him, but I knew in my heart, and today I still know it was him. So like that was one of the scariest experiences ever, because I was like, this person's obviously a psycho, because not only are you harassing me, you're harassing my partner, saying that you're going to kill him, and you're making lewd, disgusting videos with hot dogs and God knows what.
This is obsession.
It was
Imagine
basically
how
obsession.
many women go through sexual harassment at work in the job place. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And they don't want to report it, because if they report it, what's going to happen?
Exactly. They fear for their life.
And what's quite scary about that is that there's actually a lot of women, like you knew to like go and report it and say something about it, but there's a lot of women that don't even like, it's become so normal that they don't even think to even report it. They just think, oh, it's fine, I'm just gonna deal with it, it's cool. Especially like in the entertainment industry, for example, like acting and music and stuff like that, like it's just this thing of, it's just normal. Like, okay, I want to get into the music industry, and you've got like an older guy that is making all these fake promises, and to having one saying, I'm going to take you out to dinner, and then you're like feeling that you have to go, and do you know what I mean? But it's actually just wrong.
Oh my gosh,
completely.
I once did a thread on Twitter that some women obliterated for me for. It was ridiculous. But I basically said, I envy guys in business because they don't understand that they have this ability to network that women don't have to the same degree, because we're worried. What if he tries to hit on me? What if he tries to have sex with me?
Because
Because
he
like,
wants something.
having
that
these
fear.
guys will go
And it is
business
literally
meeting,
that.
lunch, dinner. Oh, let's go here, let's go to this rave, and it's
And
all
it's sorted.
networking.
Yeah.
If I say to a guy, oh, come, let's have a business dinner.
It's like,
He's gonna make a move.
Have you guys ever
100%.
witnessed someone being sexually assaulted or harassed?
Oh God, no.
And what did you do about it?
I think. Do you know what? I think I did
clubs.
remember at a time. I was at uni and I walked past a house and I could hear like a couple fighting and screaming. I called the police and kept it moving. But I think that's just because that's what we do. Like, I think like where I'm from, we're more like mind your own business.
Right.
But at that time I was just like, no, there's a woman in there.
Well, I was in a situation where someone was witnessing me being harassed. And this literally just happened last night. I remember I was telling you guys in the group. So basically I was on the train on my way home, and when you enter the platform and the train is arriving at the same time as you're arriving. So I'm walking up the platform to try and get on the train, checking like where's their seats and stuff. And then this guy, I think he just come off the train. So he sees me walking past him as he's coming off the train, and then he does a U-turn and decides to get back on the train where I got on the train. So I was thinking, okay, here we go. So I get on the train, and then see where like, there's a seat where there's like 2 people sitting and there's 1 spare seat. So I already clocked what was going on. So I thought, let me sit in between the 2 people so then he can't sit next to me. Right. Why did he tell the person here to move down so he can sit next to me? Wow. I was like, okay. So in my mind's now going like, okay, like, oh my gosh, okay, cool. He then starts like, oh, hi, like literally in my face like this. Hi, you got really lovely eyes. Where you coming from? Where you going? I'm obviously he's asking all these questions. I'm thinking, yeah, like trying to answer him so he can like leave me alone. And then he said some really disgusting thing like, oh, I wish you was drunk so I can kiss you.
Wow.
At this point, I stopped even looking in his direction. I was thinking, I don't want him to jump in my face because I don't know what I would do. So when he said that, luckily the woman that was sitting opposite me heard it. So I looked up at her and I was like, giving her the eye, like, oh my gosh, like this guy is harassing me. Like, so just so she knows that if he does anything, like she will back it. So she was looking at me like, okay, oh my gosh, like I see what's going on here. So he carries on talking, and then I'm just like, still trying to answer these questions so he wouldn't like get aggressive or whatever, but I was trying not to look at him. And then eventually, I eventually was like, oh, can I take your number? I was like, no, it's okay. I'm like, no. And he was like, are you on social media? I was like, no, I'm not on social media. And I was like, he was like, oh, have you got Instagram? I was like, no, I'm not really on Instagram. Surely you've got Instagram. So he kept on poking. So I was like, oh my gosh, let me just give him my Instagram so he can get off the train and leave me alone. So I gave him my Instagram. And then he was like, okay, well, it's nice to meet you. And I was like, okay. And I was like, please. In my head, I was thinking, Lord, please let this guy get off the train. So eventually he got off. And then when he got off, the woman was like, are you okay? I was like, yes. And she was like, don't worry, I saw what was going on. And that kind of made me feel, because I was literally shaking. Because from time he was like, oh, I wish you was drunk so I could kiss you. So I could take advantage
of it, basically.
This guy is mad. Like, from that moment, I was like, okay, I can't, this is not a normal person. So I need to be careful how I'm
You see what he said when he said like, oh, I wish you were drunk? That's how a lot of men are. Not a lot, but there's definitely
it's a lot now because men are trash.
Well, they are, but it's fine. I'll be chesty. There are a lot of men who think like that, even if they're not saying it. They're hoping and wishing and thinking, oh, I wish she was a bit intoxicated so I could take advantage of her. I think it's just disgusting to even hear. But
I feel like there's a lot of fear as well when it comes to women that are in that situation. Do you think it's hard for women who have been under such a situation to actually come forward and also be believed? Because a lot of times women write crazy threads on things that a lot of prominent people that we actually know have done to them, and yet there is still a debate about whether she's telling the truth or not.
This is the thing, nobody ever gains though. No woman that I know that has ever come forward and told her story gains anything. So it annoys me when the first thing that comes out of people's mouths is, how do we know she's telling the truth? Like, why would she lie? There's no woman on this earth who wants to be sexually abused, harassed, or even violated. No one.
I think it's scary, really, and you kind of feel like, oh, if I do come forward, like, is it gonna like affect my career, or is it gonna are people gonna believe me? And it's a shame that you have to like question that, because like when I first started acting, I had a photographer who's actually a well-known photographer. He was taking my headshots, and he was referred to me from a casting director that was a woman. And I went to go and do my headshots, and I'm fresh out of drama school, like I'm just trying to make it, you know, do you know what I mean? You're excited, and I was wearing like a vest top, and then he then said to me that I should take off my bra because my bra straps are showing.
Pardon?
Wow.
And then I was just like, nah, I can just, you know, bring it down and tuck it in. And then he was just like, no, because it's going to be lumpy around this area. So mind you, I'm fresh out of drama school, do you know what I mean? And it's been recommended to me by a casting director that I'm hoping to work with. So I'm already, it's awkward. So I'm just like, okay, yeah, fine, I'll take off my bra kind of thing. So I took off my bra kind of thing. And then he was like, yeah, your nipples are showing kind of thing. And I was like, okay, cool. I don't know what to do. Do you know what I mean? And then he then said to me, you can put sellotape on them. Okay. And then I was like, okay, cool, I will put sellotape on it. So he gets the sellotape, like you know, the white one, like the thicker one. Gets the sellotape and then like putting it on. And then he then like tries to put, like on the first one, like he like attempts to he attempts to like put the sellotape on my nipple.
Wow.
And that made me feel really, really uncomfortable. So when it came to the second side, I was like, no, it's fine. Like I'll do it myself kind of thing. So I like turned around and I tried to do it myself. So obviously, again, I'm fresh out of drama school. Do you know what I mean? And like, I didn't really know
It was vulnerable.
what to really do per se. So he's taking my pictures, and I'm feeling like really, really uncomfortable because I felt like I've just let a man touch me. If that makes sense.
I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah, and then at the end of it, he then said to me that there's an advert that I can audition for, and basically there's nudity in it. However, it's not like, it's kind of artistic nudity. So if I wanted to do it, like he can put me forward to that, but then he would have to take pictures of me like topless in order to like.
That's where he was going. That's where
Can I say something? This is what a lot of actors have gone through. Like the ones who are struggling for money. Like back in the day, they would take
But what's scary about that is that at the time I didn't understand the seriousness of it, but I knew that it made me feel really, really uncomfortable. And I remember leaving feeling like really dirty and feeling like I had done something wrong. Like I'd let this photographer like inappropriately touch me, and I don't know what to do about it. And I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell the casting director. I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell anyone. It's kind of something that I kind of shoved at the back of my mind. And it was only until like I think I told one other person, and she spoke about the same photographer as well. So this is something.
That's why our voices matter.
This is even amazing how females actually kind of normalize aggressive behavior. Like in the club, a guy poking you or grabbing your arm. And I don't even think about it now. If a guy grabs me, I almost think, oh, he wants me to be. And I see it, but it's not. It's not that. It's inappropriate.
Because when we walk through the crowd as women, we don't touch guys.
We don't. We're not touching their waist. They're not touching their waist.
Their penis
or their arm.
Push them away.
Exactly.
Like,
and they wouldn't do it. They would never do it to a man as well. I'd never see a man try and grab another man's waist, and it pisses me off as well because I remember when I was younger, I never thought it was a big deal. I thought, oh, that's just what it's like. But as I grew up,
you kind of.
I was just like, you should, affection, like, oh, he's probably attracted to me, or he's probably. But now I'm just like, it's disgusting. Don't touch me. And it happened to me when I went to my friend's birthday. I remember it back in March. These guys were like, I was on my own for a bit because I quickly went to the toilet, and this guy was groping my skirt, and I was so ready to go home. And I wasn't sure if it was because they knew that I was an influence or whatever, they had recognized me, but I was just so disgusted. I nearly burst into tears because I was just like, what the hell? Like, what makes you think if my boyfriend at the time was with me, you would not have touched me? You wouldn't have done anything.
But
and
the
it's
fact
just
that you're by yourself.
And then you think you have the authority to touch me. Like, no, deep it. You've actually put your hand on my body. You don't know me from Adam. You don't know my name. You don't know my last name. You don't know my age. Nothing about me. I have not spoken to you once, and you've put your hand on me. That's actually just disgusting.
Scary and it's normalized.
The thing
that's the problem
about club culture as well, they think if you dress in a certain way, you're asking for it.
No,
like if you're
sometimes
showing
I just
cleavage,
look like a thought. It's okay.
If your legs are out or whatever, or you're wearing tight jeans, that surely you're doing it for men. You want men. You want us to touch you. You want us to grab you, and it has nothing to do with that.
You say that this makes you look at men differently now.
It makes me. I look at men in power differently. To be honest, like I said, I think I was very naive to it. Honestly, for me, even when the Me Too movement came about, you know, honestly, my first thing was, oh, why are they coming out now? Like, where is this coming from? Are they trying to purposely like bring this man's career down? This, that. That was honestly like my first reaction from it. Do you know what I mean? From a naive point of view. And it's actually only when I went to LA that when my friends were telling me the stories of things that they've gone through, I felt so uncomfortable because I realized that there are a lot of men, and they see younger people who are coming up in the game and they are pursuing them and they're taking advantage of them and they're taking them out to dinner, and they're not just taking them out to dinner, like they're basically like wooing them in a way that, listen, if you date me, I'm gonna give you a role, and that is real. That's not just
that's
a
like
movie.
in Love and Hip Hop.
No. That is
something in the studio.
and the thing is, the sad thing about it. No,
well,
but
studio time, open the yacht.
No,
literally all that it is. That's
but the sad thing about that is that the girls that it's happening to, it's so normalized in LA. It's like this is how the game works. Do you know what I mean? And they don't see it as anything. And for me, that is actually a problem because when my friends are telling me these stories, I'm like,
How are you letting them get away with
That's
it?
actually not okay.
And the thing is, that's not even like the beginning. There's so much more that we do not know. I always say, listen, if women are to really speak on the things we go through.
Yeah. And I do wish that there was some kind of protection for these young people who are coming up. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you do see your friend, like, you're 50 years old and you're trying to talk to this 22-year-old and saying to her that you're going to change her life, but you haven't even changed yours because you don't even know who you are anymore. There needs to be another man that's like, say to him, like, listen, don't do that. Like, she's only 22 years old. But the problem is, the other men are embracing it, and
they sometimes enable
do you know what I mean? Like, and that's the problem.
And I think you're just as bad. If you're protecting your male trashy friend, you are trash. Which also adds to the fact why.
Because for some
men are
women it's
trash.
okay and it's fine, they get on, but some women are getting
Did you hear
hurt.
about that? I've forgotten his name. He was part of BBK. He got done for about how many counts of rape? How? I mean, no shade to,
do you know why?
to the crew.
Do you know why?
But how does your friend or just someone that you know that's so close to your camp get away with about 10 to 12 counts of rape? I just feel like there just needs to be accountability amongst men.
Like, you need to bad up your
like,
friends.
you have to tell your
something.
friend that no, don't do that. Like, do you know what I mean? Even with my daughter now, like when she was, I remember when we was out in Hyde Park with her friend, like these are 14, 15-year-olds, and this guy I was walking a bit further back, and they were further along than me, and I just know I was looking as they were walking, and I just noticed that my daughter's friend was posing, and I was thinking, why is she posing? No one's taking her picture. And I looked over, and this guy, this random stranger, was taking her picture. The way I ran, I was like, excuse me, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I was talking to her, I was like, why is this guy taking your picture? And she's like, oh, he just stopped me and said he wants to take a picture of me. I was like, no. We ain't finna do that. I said to the man, what are you doing? And because he could tell that obviously like I'm well, I don't think he thought I was the mum. But he thought, okay, there's someone that actually knows what's going on here. And he wouldn't even speak English. He literally just rushed off. That's like, I had to sit my daughter down with her friend, be like, look, don't let any man, not even a woman, come up to you and be telling you they want to take a picture of you. For what? For why? Like, Lord knows why? Where's he going to take the pictures?
And you know, because they're growing up in the already developed digital era, like we had to like go through transitions. They actually grew into it, like it was a part of them. So them seeing someone take photos is just a normal thing for them. Yeah. Everyone takes photos.
You can see that she's a child. Why are you taking it? It's not like he's taking a picture of another adult grown woman. It's a child. What are you going to do with these pictures?
I mean, in light of this discussion, obviously now we know that these things happen. We know that it's happening to us, our sisters, our friends. If you were to see something like this happening, let's say in the workplace or wherever you are, would you say something? Would you speak up? Let's say it is in the workplace and it's someone senior to you or even your boss. Do you think you would have the courage to say something or speak on it, even if the woman in particular can't or doesn't want to?
If the woman doesn't want to,
you have to.
Because I feel like with survivors of sexual harassment and violence, like Oloni said, you have to respect people's stance. You may not understand it and you may not agree, but who are you to go behind their wants and wishes and report? Because a lot of people that have survived sexual violence or rape haven't gone to the police and they don't want to go to the police for various reasons. But who are we to override their autonomy and say, no, you have to report it? Because we don't know why they don't want to report it. So if I saw it, I would make the person aware that I saw it, but if they did not want me to, I wouldn't. Now, if they wanted me to interject, in the moment, I'd probably interject depending on what it is, but if they didn't want me to interject post having a discussion with them, I wouldn't. Out of respect for them.
If I see it happening, I would definitely interject, because I've been in situations where I went to Mexico for my birthday and there was a big group of us and everyone was intoxicated. I was the only sober one, and I was getting so annoyed because these guys came over to our table and they were literally groping everyone, like touching parts, but because the girls were proper like drunk, I was thinking, I'm not drunk here. I can see what's going on. And I literally flipped on all of them. I was like, you need to come out of this space. And I felt really annoyed with my friends. Like, why would you put me in that position where you're all drunk? I'm the only sober one. And these guys are now coming over and taking advantage of you, but you're none the wiser. So the next day, I literally had to like have a meeting about it in the hotel room and be like,
I know you did.
What are you? No,
I can imagine.
I hate to be the mum.
Like sat round.
I hate to be the mum.
Like,
in the defense of your friends, they could get flat out drunk if they want. Men shouldn't be touching them.
Yeah.
So it's not their problem. It's not their problem if they want to get.
I was just annoyed. I think I was annoyed, and I was just trying to express my annoyance. Like, how dare you come over to our table and be groping people because they're drunk? Like, how dare you? And then I was annoyed at my friends. Like, why are you so drunk that you don't know this is happening?
Yeah.
Like,
why have you gotten yourself to this point where you have no awareness that this is happening to you?
But then that's also
problematic.
used. Yeah, that's also used against victims.
I know, but that's genuinely how I felt. That's genuinely how I felt.
I think it's a normal thing it's a normal thing to think, but at the same time, a lot of perpetrators use that against victims because they'll say, she was wearing this outfit, she was drunk, she was asking for it, she was this, she was dancing sexy.
Sexual assault only happens because of sexual assaulters.
Right, I have a friend who was physically assaulted. She went to the police and she told them about it, and they basically said, did you not go to his house? She was like, yeah. Like, did you not willingly drink at his house? She was like, yeah. They were like, okay, so what's your beef? So basically, they did not follow it up because they felt like, okay, you walked to his house, you went through the door, you were kissing him, and you got drunk. So why are you then complaining that he was touching you inappropriately?
And that's not how consent works.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
But then is that, so what do you think about, what
again.
do you think about that? Because you also think that in a sense there's a little bit of a blurred line. I'm just like, no one
What,
like
a blurred
me.
line with
But
consent?
in terms of, not necessarily consent, but like, for example, there was an actor who he met this lady, I think it was at an after party at the Oscars or something like that.
About this,
Yeah. And the lady came over and then they were chilling, they were drinking, and then obviously like he then started to kind of touch her and stuff, and then she was like, no, I don't want to. They were kissing, and then he started to kind of progress, and then she was like, no, I don't want to do that anymore. But then she still like, she still stayed a little bit longer, and then he stopped, and then he tried again, and do you know what I mean?
Why
And
did
do you
he
think
do that again?
No, but
Yeah,
what
she
my
said no.
question? No, but what my question is, because obviously we've all been in predicament. Like, do you think that there is a slight blurred line in terms of when we are saying no? In terms of
definitely.
Sometimes when you because sometimes when you are in that moment and that's happening, you're like, no,
fakeness.
stop. And then he tries again, and then actually it does progress. But then
There are great
No, but
areas.
Why is it that old?
talking-
Actually, I don't believe her the first time. Let me try again. I think that's a bit cheeky.
Yeah, I think like there are grey areas, but that's why you need to get a certain answer. And if she says no, that's
Just
when
be like,
you
are you
need
sure?
to stop.
Yeah.
Are you
As a
sure?
man, just be like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
That's what I'm
Even when she
interested.
says
It's on the
yes,
Netflix.
even when she says
Simple.
yes, still
Are
say
you
again,
sure?
are you
Yeah.
sure?
I think you guys are, I think us as women have to make our no very clear. It's not like no,
seriously, no, because you've
Sometimes you might even
It's
need
gotta
to
be
say
no.
And no, remember, consent
with the
is
hand.
sexy. You gotta be like, honestly, you have to be like.
Yeah, no,
With
but
the
seriously, you have to
clap.
be clear
Consent
with your
is
no,
sexy,
because
get your
the
hands off
giggle
me.
and the no.
The giggle and the no.
And
It
then
doesn't
obviously
correlate.
But you know what? There's nothing even wrong with giggling.
No,
because
they
you
gotta
don't wanna
know
be-
you're
sometimes
serious.
you don't even want to be
No,
awkward.
don't giggle.
No,
Say
even
no.
if, do you know
We are
what?
not giggling
in a
here.
normal
But I
setting,
just think-
if you're in a normal setting, like, so you can still like chill with someone.
But in the setting of you've gone back to his place,
You actually
are
like this
chilling,
person.
you are drinking, you guys are you're even cuddling, you're spooning, whatever.
Yeah, you might giggle and
It
say
is in
no.
that cozy
Yeah,
position, and he then
exactly.
thinks, okay, this is comfortable. I'm fancying her, she's fancying me.
Right.
I'm gonna move into kiss her, and she's like, no, because maybe she's shy. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you can't say that.
She
No,
shouldn't be shy.
But you can't. But I'm just saying, as the woman. Like, if you be real, like, as the woman, you'll know does have to be clear.
Yeah.
It's like you
And
act
you
like
can
these men are superhuman. Like,
No,
your
no,
body
wait,
is saying
wait,
one
wait, wait,
thing,
wait.
and
No, but I
then
think
you're
you can-
saying another.
what you should do is stick to saying what you'd like to do instead. So what I mean is, we're not gonna kiss, but we can spoon.
Or actually
So don't kiss
verbalize.
me.
But
Yeah,
you know, some
verbalize
girls,
it.
some girls aren't as like bold.
Assertive.
Then,
Yeah.
then
No, you can't. Like,
I'm not
you
gonna
can't
say that.
like,
Don't do
legit.
that.
Like, some girls
But
are not like
this
that.
Is
like,
my
okay.
advice. This is my advice.
Okay,
This
okay.
is me offering my advice. What I would say to anyone in that position is, try and speak. If you're able enough to, like, I don't know, get into bed with someone and even get comfortable, just try and, communicate.
Wait, why are we going into the bed?
Why not? People like to get cozy.
Miss celibacy over there.
No, but even as a man, like, okay, sorry, it's your job to also decipher, because there are some girls who are uncomfortable, and like you said, they can't speak up, so they can't bring themselves to be like, no, don't friggin' touch me. They're like, no, or they don't even say anything at all, and they just kind of lay there. If she doesn't say
stiff.
yes, it's still a no.
Yeah.
And if you're not sure, it's still probably a no.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And it's better for them as
I agree.
well.
I'm just putting it out there.
Never saying. God's advocate, innit? God's advocate.
Yeah, exactly.
Oloni, you've given your advice, which is just to always speak up.
Yeah.
Like, what other pieces of advice would you give to women in similar situations?
Don't go to the house because
No, but you can go to his house. She said
Listen,
Oloni.
no, let's if you don't want to get intimate,
but you know
if
what?
you don't want to
She's
get
not completely
intimate,
wrong. She's
don't
not
be in the
completely
house.
wrong.
True.
You're not completely wrong.
If you don't want to be intimate, okay,
Yeah, don't go to his house.
don't go to his house alone at night time and leave
Even during the day, things can get down in the day.
Go out during the day, be
Yeah.
out in public with other friends, okay? He can't be all over you
But
in
that
public
doesn't
like
mean
that.
that just because you go to his house, it means that he has authority over your body.
Yeah.
No.
Of
So
course,
remember
of course,
that as
but
well.
let's also use wisdom.
Yeah, of course.
And know that if we're not trying to get down like that, and you think that this is
Let's
probably
not
what
put
he might
ourselves
be
in a
expecting,
compromised
let's not put
situation.
ourselves in that
course.
kind of scenario in the first
I
place.
also, one thing I do, like if I'm going out or I'm going on a date or I'm meeting a guy that I'm not really aware of, I would text my parents his name. I would take down
text your
his
parents?
Yeah.
You gotta let them
Girl,
know.
you got good parents.
I would text my parents his name. I would text where like
I do.
I would text where I'm gonna
Take a photo of
be.
his driving
License
license
plate.
or his
like,
plate.
Yes,
Sorry.
I'll tell you enough
I've
that
taken
if I go
pictures of plates.
missing,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know
I
who
do
I was
plates.
with. You know which car
But
he
if
picked me up
you
in.
feel
know
that
where
you
he
need
said-
to do all of that, is it wise to still go?
I mean,
in the first place?
For everyone.
It's better to be
Everyone.
safe than sorry.
When
Do you
I met
not
my
watch Crime
boyfriend,
Watch?
when I met my boyfriend, I gave them his full name. I can't go anywhere and my best friend doesn't know the guy's full name.
Yeah.
Or I can't go anywhere and my best friend doesn't know where I'm going. Like someone knows where I'm going to be at all times.
Someone
your
should
friend.
know where you are at all times.
Yeah.
Of course.
And
Especially
what
with
do
a
you
new
think?
person.
What would your advice be for someone who has been sexually harassed?
Speak up and speak to someone.
Speak to someone.
Speak to someone. I think that is the most important thing you should do. And I would also say get therapy as well.
Yeah,
I
someone
think
who's
it's important.
impartial. And can give you just like sound advice.
If you've ever been affected by sexual harassment or sexual violence in any form and you want someone to speak to, we've included some extra information in the description of this video.